course, welcome to the foundation. If you're new in any way, shape, or form, the foundation, basically, we understand that the foundation is trust in banking. And that's where we're standing, that's where we're reestablishing, and that's what we're, investing our time and energy in, is, our understanding of, private trust administration and of course, banking. And there's, private banking and there's public banking. And that's the foundation. That's the foundation of commercial, intercourse, commercial transactions, the commercial realm. The foundation is trust in banking. I don't care what else is going on. You got corporations, I don't care, LLCs, I don't care what you're talking about. The foundation is trust in banking, and that's on the private side. So, that being said, I did want to talk about can I be private and do business in the public? People be like, I wish I met you a year ago before when I first started doing this. And I hear that a lot. I hear that a lot in consultations. I wish I ran across you instead of listening to these other people and, basically getting taken for all my money. And I really feel for people that are in those positions. But, at the same time, it's up to us to trust but verify. Like, I trust what you're saying, but, after I leave, I'm finna go verify what you said. Like, I'm not going to sit there and just, jump on the game or go home and, I don't know, shoot pool. What do people do? Drink beers, Miller Lights and stuff? Whatever. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go home or go wherever I need to verify what you're telling me. I'm not just going to take your word for it. I'm going to trust you. I'm not going to call you a liar to your face, and I'm going to verify it. And through the verification process, I'm looking to verify it in what you say. But if evidence presents itself that you are actually not telling the truth, well, then now I know that you're not telling the truth, or you're either mistaken or in error. I'm not even going to say that you're lying. But you're mistaken or in error, and now that I can't trust you in the future unless you, prove otherwise, that you've learned. So, it's up to us to trust but verify. Like, if someone tells you, oh, blah, 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 and this, blah, 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 and blah, 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 like, you got to do your due diligence and verifications as far as, like, what you're being told and whether or not you should listen to it. And that's just it. So can I be private yet do business in the public? Yeah, absolutely. Short answer. Long answer is I talk to a lot of people who feel as though, in order to be private, I'm private now, I'm going private or whatever. In order for this to be, a successful thing is, you got to stop doing certain things. Like, you can't participate in credit. You can't use credit. And I beg to differ. You can use credit. Like, but are you using a credit profile that was built off of, the individual? Or are you using a credit profile that was built off of, like, maybe a business or maybe a private contractual trust indenture that was issued either a foreign or domestic EIN by the Internal Revenue Service and, use that to do business in the public and, is building credit on that entity, however limited or whatever scope that may or may not be. Or are you using with the individual? Or, are you using a credit profile number? Man, what do I do with that thing? All right, look. People are spooked, CPNs, and rightfully so, because, there's people out here tripping. There's a lot of people out here tripping. There's a lot of people out here, finding information and then trying to repackage it and trying to sell it as a package and, tell it to people, tell them they can do certain stuff. And, they do it. They trust but don't verify, and then they get into some sort of trouble. You know what I mean? So when I talk to people about CPNs or credit profile numbers, in no way am I advocating for you to go and get a CPN. In no way, because first of all, I can't do that. Second of all, I'm not giving legal advice. I don't really give this disclaimer too much, but I'm not a lawyer or anything. I'm just talking right now. I'm telling you, how it is, as far as I see it. But people, I see people are afraid of CPN. Like, nah, man, okay. So this is a little thing called the Mortgage Fraud Report, 2008. It's on the FBI.gov website. You can download it. It's a PDF. You can download it. The purpose of the study is to provide insight into the breadth and depth of mortgage fraud crimes perpetrated against the United States and its citizens during 2008. Cool. A lot of it, maybe you're into this stuff. Maybe you're not. I am. I definitely am. So I read it. I got my hands on it and read it. I'm holding a paper printout copy of the FBI mortgage fraud report. And I say that because down at the bottom of the pages, when you print this thing, it says on every single page, www.fbi.gov/stats/publications/mortgage-fraud-2008. Straight up. But anyways, when you're reading stuff, right, you'll be reading a sentence, and it'll say something in the sentence, like, you're reading a sentence and it says, the matter was adjudicated in a previous case. And then after the sentence, it'll have a little 3 at the top, like a little 3, right at the top, kind of how like they do the TH for 11th on numbers sometimes. It's like a little, like an exponent, how they did back in school, the 9 to the third power, how they put the 3, it was smaller, but it was like, you know what I'm talking about. Well, anyways, in this report, they had a bunch of those. But if you go to the back of the report, it lists out those numbers. You know what I'm saying? So, man, I'm reading this thing, and I come across CPNs, man, I'm not playing with you, right? So, and it said number 35. So, it's talking about FICO numbers, all types of stuff. They were basically reporting on how these people were committing fraud, with mortgages. And maybe the implication is this, led or, at least agitated, the housing market fraud. I don't know. Maybe I believe that this report was commissioned and completed to help obfuscate responsibility for, the actual crash, But whether or not it served its purpose, I'm not really going to touch on that. Bottom line is the little numbers at the end of the sentences, and you look down, and you got to check out what they're talking about. Okay, so in this report, it says number 35. Credit privacy numbers, CPNs, are 9-digit file numbers that follow the same algorithm as Social Security account numbers, SSAN, little s, SSANs, and hyphens, not hyphenated, what is this, brackets, what is this? I can't remember what they're called. Whatever. Currently, federal law allows individuals to legally use CPNs for financial reporting and protects those individuals who do not wish to disclose their SSAN. Individuals who acquire CPNs are completely responsible for any debt they incur using this number. Acquiring a CPN is supposed to be a free service. Therefore, websites that offer CPNs for a fee are most likely scammers. And that's not true. I know a friend, a friend of mine got a CPN and paid money for it, but he paid money to be tri-merged, whatever that means. I don't know. And then 36, seasoned trade lines are lines of credit that are held open in good standing for an extended period of time, typically for at least 2 years. Then it goes on and talks about the FBI intelligence assessment and so on and so forth, and blah, blah, blah. CPNs, yo. I mean, this is the FBI mortgage report. You can go to FBI.gov. You can go to Google and you can type in mortgage fraud report 2008 FBI, and it will come up. And you can look at it and go to like the last 2 pages and look for 35 or whatever, and read what I just read. They say you're totally liable. It says, you don't have to furnish a Social Security account number. And then people be like, the Privacy Act, they won't let me open a bank account. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, they don't have to let you open a bank account without a social, technically, in my opinion. Now, you may be able to holler at them in a certain way to where blah, 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 they do it, but they don't really have to, especially if you're giving them identification, which, kind of insinuates that you're, a U.S. citizen, like a driver's license or something. You can't walk in there and give them a driver's license, and they'd be like, I don't have a social, I'm an American, I'm not a U.S. citizen, I'm a citizen. This stuff doesn't work. But I, for a friend of mine told me that, you don't have to give them the social. That's what I'm saying. Like, so privately, you can be private. A lot of people say being private is not using the social, not using the Social Security credit account, or however you want to. A lot of people say that. And a lot of people feel, like they're stuck because now that I'm not using the credit profile that I'm so used to, getting the free annual reports and stuff like that, and, disputing the credit or just having terrible credit your whole life. Maybe the whole life your credit's been in the 500s. I don't know. But a lot of people get confused as far as, like, how am I supposed to do this? How do I do this? And I would definitely say that, there are alternatives. One alternative is to use a business credit profile. But you can only go so far without a personal guarantee. How do you personal guarantee? With a social. Or, obviously, maybe the feds are telling you that, a credit profile number can be used in lieu of SSAN or Social Security account number. I didn't say that. The Fed said it. This ain't me. This, you can trust me. Trust what I'm saying, but verify it. I'm telling you where you can get it. FBI. It's a mortgage fraud report, 2008. FBI. Do a search. You're looking for most. I bet you most of y'all are looking at it right now. I'd be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. Most of y'all looking at it right now. Like, this dude's tripping. How do you? Man, I read a lot. I'm telling you, I read a lot. You should see how many court cases I've been going through in the last week or so. I keep going down and get more because I read a court case and they reference another one. I want to see it, or they cite one, or there's some sort of citation, other types of citation, or there's a key cite, or some sort of red flag or yellow flag where there's a negative treatment, and I need to read that case to see what part of the case is that I've read that I understand is being treated negatively in a more recent Supreme Court case. So I read a lot, man. So yeah, I read the whole mortgage fraud report. I'm a super nerd like that. But you find jewels by reading. I'm telling you, find jewels. That's why I like it. That's why I love reading. I'll never stop. And I'll never stop. But yeah, I found that little tidbit. So yeah, I mean, you can be private and do business in the public. Bottom line, you need to be a trustee, hands down. You need to know how to administer entities. And a lot of people are like, oh, they don't know I'm private. But hey, you can be a private individual and be under contract through a private trust to administer a public entity. If you understand trust administration, if you understand precedent, if you understand contract protections, people, I got, constitutional rights. Like, okay, man, I'm going to use this on that one. You don't have no constitutional rights. You have natural rights that are constitutionally protected, enumerated. But, I mean, you got to know, otherwise you can't do it. So bottom line, absolutely. Short answer, like I said, yes. Like I said, a lot of people get tripped up with the credit. I just gave you 3 alternatives. Trust, corporation, or credit profile number. Now, if you have any questions, you can email me, admin@welcometothefoundation.com. I cannot give you legal advice. It's a friend. You know what I'm saying? It's a friend. I might be able to. I forgot. As far as like the proper administration, are you going to be private? Are you going to have any mail, commercial mail? I think all mail is commercial, pretty much. And received. Are you going to receive or accept? There's two different words, two different meanings, and are you going to accept or receive any mail at a private residence? I think that really indicates and speaks and substantiates whether or not you're actually private. Now, doing business, even business credit, when you're building business credit, one of the negative factors of treatment is not having a commercial address for your business. That looks negatively for lenders looking to extend credit. So why would you do any type of business from your actual private residence. You have to do it from some sort of commercial jurisdiction or commercial venue. Now, you can privately, through your trust, contract with different businesses or, possibly even the post office. Now, I know the post office, they want specific type of, blah, 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 identification for opening up P.O. boxes. But a lot of people aren't really familiar with general delivery or rural free delivery. General delivery, they'll be like, 30 days, you can only do it for 30 days. I've heard that a lot. But then I actually was like, I don't think that's true. I went and got the little card that you use to sign up for general delivery and read it. And they only hold the mail for 30 days. You got to go within 30 days to go pick it up. And it's usually only one post office that does general delivery or rural free delivery. And it's like the main office, and usually it's downtown. You can't do it at most post offices. There's a main post office in every, whatever locality, and then there's, subdivision post office or something that branch off from that main one. Now, I would suggest you try it if you're going to do that. But, you can send mail for 2 cents between post offices. Try it. 2 cent stamp. So, which means if you got someone who's accepting, general delivery or doing it rural free delivery and you're doing the same thing, it's 2 cents from post office to post office on the private side. I ain't giving you legal advice, though. This is what my friend told me. I'm just chopping it up with y'all, man. I can't tell you nothing. But I can't step on some toes out here, man. Pancaking them. Now, if you're looking to do some sort of, virtual office, people say virtual office and they think, oh, man, how they going to send me my packages virtually? That's not how it works, man. Most of the time, virtual offices are spots where they receive mail and hold it for you, and it's your virtual office. Virtual. It's virtually yours, but it's not. So you can't do business in there. Ain't got no desks in there for you. You can't use the printer. I mean, you might be able to use the bathroom if you really got to go, but there's, upgrades and certain, packages or memberships for these types of facilities where maybe you can come in a day or so or 5 days, or maybe they'll give you a cubicle, or maybe they'll give you your own office, but you got to pay extra. The virtual office, or more specifically, they receive the mail for you and they'll hold it for you. They shoot you an email and be like, yo, come holler at us, we got mail for you. And then you can use that to build business credit, and receive packages. Because a lot of times you building business credit and you ordering items with your business credit that you just established, they are only going to ship it to the business address. That's how they reduce fraud. A lot of people are like, you didn't send it to the business, we didn't receive it. Oh, we're not going to pay for that. People don't try everything. There's nothing new under the sun. And do you receive or accept mail at your private residence? I don't know. Do you consider that private? I don't know. How does that hold up in the court of law? According to your specific situation, I'm not really sure. Can you be private and do business in the public? Do you accept any benefits from the state? Any type of health benefits? You have Obamacare is what is, colloquially called. Do you have any accounts, an IRA or 401k? Do you have any assets in that name in the public? Is it gaining interest? Is that interest being reported? There are other things to think about. Now, you can privately do business through trust, but are you actually private if you have minimum contacts with the public through your, whatever you want to call it, straw man, individual, legal person, sesquade, trust? I don't care what y'all call it, man. To me, like I said, it's individual. If I was an individual returner. But do you have these minimum contacts? I mean, if you do, I don't necessarily think that you can be private and do business in the public. I don't think you're private. From what I understand, technically, you got to not use a social for 7 years, and after that, it goes dormant or whatever. So that minimum contact is, vanquished. then what? You got a driver's license? You got a passport with the social? Have you hollered at Chris L. and got your passport, no social? You made any type of real separation from that, any type of, public? These things need to be taken into consideration. Like a lot of people think they're private just because they have their private trust estate set up. You got your business trust, your asset protection trust, and your family trust. That doesn't necessarily make you private. You, specifically. You. Those, legal persons, those contract entities are private, yeah. And, the administration of those entities is private due to the non-disclosure within the indenture itself and the subsequent agreements between trustees and managers and agents and so on and so forth. But are you private just because you signed on to a private trust? Foundation is trust in banking. We understand that. I hope we understand that. I also understand that, we're dealing with the rebirth or renaissance of private estates for our people. So the estate is private, but are you private? You have contractual protections as a trustee when you're acting in a fiduciary capacity. You can stand on that. You can stand on the contractual protections in the Constitution because of your specific and direct contact contractually with the private trust with regards to non-disclosure and things of that nature. As soon as you start saying, my constitutionally protected rights, you stepped outside of that contractual protection, and now you're arguing. I just want to make distinctions, and I know a lot of trustees check out the show because, the show is kind of like a baby trustee training. But distinctions, properly set, allow us to properly move. Energy wasted is frustration. Frustration leads to sometimes anger, self-doubt, self-loathing, and depression. I would say depression. Because constantly making mistakes when you have a pure heart is going to lead you to some sort of depression. And depression really, in my opinion, is too much focus on past mistakes or the past period. And anxiety comes from too much focus on the future. But if we're not doing things correctly and properly, we're going to get discouraged ultimately. It doesn't work, throw it, tantrum. Kicking legs and screaming and stuff. When we're reduced to our lowest form due to lack of understanding. Can I be private and do business in the public? Yes, absolutely you can. You can. But I want to tell you, just because you got a 9A number doesn't make you private. You can use a 9A number in lieu or instead of a Social Security number. When they're asking for a Social Security number, you give them a 9A number. It might work. I've heard people say it works. But you called that number and they told you, you put TR after the thing, designated trust, you said okay, and then when they sent you the documents, if you gave them the correct address for them to send it to you, it says TR after the name. So that's unequivocal evidence that you know that this is an EIN for a trust and you're using it as a Social Security number. So that shows that you know what you're doing, which is intent, which could be potentially criminal. Can I be private and do business in public? You have to be diligent. You got to know what you're doing. You got to be self-accountable. I remember I did the show the public is locking down or whatever. I don't remember what I said. I don't remember what it was. When I was talking about the IRS was shutting down the what is it? Third party. In regards to the responsible party, you use the EIN to get an EIN on the website on the SS4, that they were shutting it down on May 13th. Now, I said it, and I kept saying May 13th, May 13th. Do y'all know how many people called me on May 13th? Do you all know how many people actually called me or emailed me on May 13th who were trying to get an EIN, telling me that, I thought May 13th was the last day? No. And then, once again, why are we waiting for the last minute? Like, people who wait for the last minute can't be private. You might be able to properly administer a private entity, possibly. I don't know. You can't be private. If you wait for the last minute, you're going to mess up. Something will happen. You can't procrastinate. Don't put off for tomorrow what you can get done today. You understand what being private is. 100% responsibility, 100% accountability. Most of us don't know what that means. I'm just going to keep it real. Most of us do not know what 100% accountability and 100% responsibility means. You're going to blame it on traffic. You're going to blame it on the cat. You're going to blame it on the dirty dishes. You're going to blame it on, because someone yelled at you. You're going to blame it on, I was disrespected. You're going to blame it on, I didn't know, or so-and-so told me, or we're grown adults. We don't even understand how infantile we behave, how minor we behave in our actions, expecting to give respect and all this other stuff when we don't exemplify behavior that warrants it. We have these entitlements and stuff that are perpetuated by the public, of course, because they make money off of it. But we walk around acting like we all this and all that when we're really ignorant and stupid most of the time. And we couldn't even pass the 8th grade test from the late 1800s. We don't understand how we've been dumbed down over generations. Being private is a big responsibility. Legal avoidance of taxes is a big responsibility. Private citizenship, non-citizen, national, whatever you're talking about, it's a big responsibility. You need to be able to stand on it on your own. And so, I send you something in the mail. You send me some money, some Federal Reserve notes or something. I send you something in the mail. You pop it in the microwave for 15 minutes, take it out, and your life is private. No. People who ask me, can I be private and do business in the public? And the first thing I want to tell them is you need to study some more. The actual, the specific, definitive, actual construction and framework of that question leads me to believe unequivocally that you need to continue in your studies. It's amazing the questions I get. I don't feel like I'm getting jilted, though. I think a lot of people at this point in their so-called career of being woke, or who knows I don't even know what people call me. My name is So L, though. And I'm seeking it, and I'm speaking that truth. But, you get to a point where it's maybe a little repetitive, but it's really almost partly embarrassing at the type of interactions that I have sometimes. It's flabbergasting. It's not even humorous. Almost unprecedented that people would make donations of thousands upon thousands of dollars and never call, never ask questions, never email, never say, hey man, I was thinking about doing this and blah 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 blah. Being private is being responsible. That's basically what I'm trying to get across. The biggest thing. Being private is being responsible. I trusted the dude. We went out to drink, and we had some drinks, and we was having a good time, and, everything was cool. And then, I brought him to my house, man. I fed the man and gave him some food. And, and ran his bath. And, man, he not only did he sleep with my wife, but he stole my silver. You mean tell me you had drinks with this dude, you spent all this time with this guy, then you invited him in his house, in your house, and you didn't pay. What, would you leave him unattended? And he grabbed your silver and he slept with your wife? Man, you're an idiot. A lot of people say things, man. They tell stories and stuff, stories of woe, to solicit sympathy. And in the overall parlance of this story, it really manifests ultimately to your own lips that you are actually not very smart, or you do not make smart decisions. And in your attempt to gain sympathy or some sort of favor, you really just embarrassed yourself with your own mouth, because you're not 100% accountable and you're not responsible and you don't see that. You know, you don't know what you don't know. And if you're going to be private, you have to be responsible. I'm private. One of the things with me about being private, which is contentious to some people, I'll run a red light. I will run a red light. I will run a stop sign. I will run. I was in the islands, and the homeboy in the island. I was sitting at the stoplight when nothing coming, and my man said, "Oh, you listen to the robot? Let the robot tell you what to do." Changed my whole perspective on everything. Like, you damn right, there's a robot. I'm a human. I got consciousness of self. That lamp post don't got no consciousness of self. I can determine. I can judge distances. I can do complicated math formulae. I can create art and stuff. Man, why am I sitting here listening to this robot? Got to be responsible. So if I'm going to be private and exercise my private rights and run this red light, I'm going to be responsible. I'm going to look multiple times. I'm going to use my ears. I'm going to roll the windows down. I have very good hearing. And there's a certain distinct noise that is made from tires going across asphalt, and I'm listening for that. Because if I'm at a stop sign or a stop light and I hear that, that means, you know, the traffic coming towards me is stopped too. So I shouldn't be hearing nothing. I'm looking, I'm paying attention. I'm also looking for police. And if I do get pulled over, I ain't finna argue with these fools. I ain't finna tell them myself either. You know why I pulled you over? You know that's an offer of telling yourself when they ask you, do you know why I pulled you over? I'm not going to be confrontational. I know that's one of, you know, the potential repercussions of me not listening to the robot. I ain't finna say, oh, man, I don't know what you're doing. Why you pulling me over, man? I don't know. I don't see that as being responsible. I don't see that as being accountable. Now, if I didn't crash into anybody, destroy any property, or hurt anybody, I mean, we can handle this with paperwork. I'm not tripping. But if I'm accountable and responsible, I didn't hit anything. I didn't hit anyone. I didn't hurt anyone. I may have startled somebody. Whatever. Nothing happened. And that's just me, you know. But that's, you know, an example of responsibility and accountability. You can't you be out here doing stuff just because you think you need to do it and not being responsible for it. And then, you know, thinking of some type of, you know, scenario, story in your head, and just because it works in your head and it makes sense, you want to spout that off to someone else and expect them to eat it like it's all good. And not look at you and not try to call you on it. And you get mad and you coming at me and stuff. Like, I don't have interactions with people like that. I'll agree with you. Like, yeah, you know what? You're right. I'm tripping. Let me call you back and never talk to you again. I don't play that game. I trust you shouldn't play the game either. But not only do I want you to be able to recognize this stuff in yourself, recognize it in other people. A lot of people play games with you. A lot of people play games and slow down your dance, your do-si-do, because they're playing games with you. And, you know, ultimately they're playing games with themselves, so you can't expect them not to play games with you. If they disrespect themselves, you can't expect them to respect you. They don't value their time in their life or, whatever, their money or, whatever. You can't expect them to value those same things that are yours. And I feel like we come into a lot of conflict and, low-level type situations because we have unrealistic expectations, which is not, if you have unrealistic expectations, you're not being responsible, you're not being accountable. It's a crazy, weird, circle of accountability, at least how my logic works. And I'm not the type of person you want to argue with. Like, most people who argue with me will tell you that. Like, don't argue with this dude. He's way too, I'm super logical. I'm a very logical individual. Pragmatic and logical. I don't really deal with emotions too much unless I really care about you. Then I'll sit down and listen what has to do with your emotions and to consider them. But most other times, man, I ain't trying to hear it. We're grown. I ain't trying to hear it. But I don't really try to hear it, man. Not really. Especially if you ain't being accountable. Especially if you're not, you know what, man, I fucked that up, man. I admit that, I'm tripping, I was tripping, I did this, I did that, and, hey, I was tripping, and I messed that up, and I ain't going to do that again. Then I'm going to listen to you. It sounds like that you're being accountable and you're learning from your mistakes. And anybody who can be accountable for the mistakes, hey, man, I'll forgive and forget. As long as you learn, you got to do it again. Holla black. I don't know how much time we got left in the stream. Blog Talk is being weird, obviously, if y'all checked out the beginning of the show. You might want to call in. Oh. Too late, never mind. Can't call in. We stream. Oops. That was my fault. I continue to use Blog Talk. I can't keep blaming it on Blog Talk. I see Yusuf jumped off, and he really don't be on here. He be on YouTube, but I'm not. I ain't finna show my face, man. I'm private. I'm too private for that. I don't feel like. Hey, I lived the life. Hey, man, I'm thinking I'm gonna go to phone. Should I go to phone lines? What am I doing? I was gonna talk about this case, man. This case, Evans versus Newton, or it's involving this part, public and private, dealing with property that's in a private trust, but was being used for public use, and they were trying to make it for quote whites only. And it was a beautiful case on how the justices described how they came to their decision and why. And it showed it's beautiful with regards to public and private, and it's beautiful with regards to minimum contacts. Now, I was going to read it, but I think I was just ranting or something. I trust y'all got some good information from the show, though. And, maybe I'll talk about it, next week or something. Actually, next week I think Yusuf is coming on the show. Y'all believe that? He said, yeah. He was like, yeah, absolutely. He said he'd be honored. He looked me in my face, and that's an honorable man. So, Yusuf, barring any types of emergencies or something like that, Yusuf will be on the show, on the foundation next week. He said we can talk about whatever. And I don't know. I don't know what I want to talk about. We might just, I don't know. Might turn into Yusuf L answering questions and stuff finally, because y'all can finally get a hold of him or something. I don't know. But Yusuf's going to be on the show next week. What else was I going to tell y'all? Passport No Social DVD. If you're interested, Chris L put it down on that DVD. Webinars. Webinar is being sent out in the DVD. If you're interested, admin at welcometothefoundation.com, or you can go to welcometothefoundation.com/education and just snatch it up. If you don't have no questions, you just want it. welcometothefoundation.com/education. Just grab it. It'll be sent to you. Or if you got questions, whatever, you want to chop it up, admin at welcometothefoundation.com. Yusuf L will be on next week. I'm kicking with the brother. He got a lot going on in his life. I'm really, I really look up to that brother, man. He like the uncle I never had. You know what I'm saying? But we've been talking about getting into business together. He's talking about transitioning. I'm talking about transitioning. And, there's big things coming up. So I always say, man, nothing lasts forever. And I can't say, when things will change, but things will definitely change. So I trust that y'all are getting y'all worth out of these broadcasts, out of these episodes. I really do. And that's what it is. But UCFL on next week, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Passport No Social. Email for questions. You want more information? admin@welcometothefoundation.com. I know I said it fast, but y'all know what it is. If you just want to grab it, welcometothefoundation.com/education. Yeah. I think that's about it. I do wanted to say that, even though the United States imposed those $200 billion worth of tariffs on China, they excluded rare earth minerals. REMs, or rare earth minerals. I don't know. Y'all should look into that. Look into rare earth minerals. If you got money laying around in 401k or IRA, break it. And look at these e-waste companies, man. Look, I'm going to do it right now. Look, I'm online. I'm going to Google right now, the search engine. Google. All right, check this out. The machine that disassembles iPhones, right? Liam, Liam. So y'all can search. There's a video of this machine that's disassembling iPhones, man, and they're recapturing all the components that they use to build these phones. And that's why they want you to trade. They'll give you certain money if you trade it in and buy a new phone, and so on and so forth. Daisy, they got Liam and they got Daisy. All right, I'm looking for the numbers, man. And then we up out of here. It can disassemble up to 200 iPhones in an hour. It's a new one. Okay, Liam. Daisy was created with some of Liam's old parts, making it a recycled robot. Where's the numbers? Apple announces power, blah, 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 blah. Man, where's the numbers, man? I'm sorry. Hopefully y'all are interested, because I'm going to show you the numbers, like how much gold and silver these fools got out of old iPhones. Okay, so Apple, how do I find this? How do you find this with keywords? Apple, what do they do? Reclaim gold, silver. Keywords, man. You got it. Silver from iPhones. Apple recovered 2,204 pounds of gold. Man, this is 2016. Yeah, I knew it was a lot. 2,204 pounds of gold. As if Apple's nitty cash, the company has discovered a way to make tens of millions of dollars off of old, broken, and unwanted iPhones. And it's not just iPhones, man. It's going to be laptops, computers. They use gold in RAM chips, memory chips, stuff like that. Different components have gold and silver. It's minimal as far as each component. If you got like 10 laptops in your basement and stuff, it's going to be minimal. But when you're dealing with investments in actually e-waste companies, you might want to look into different electronic waste companies, recyclers, because they're pulling out gold and silver and platinum and rhodium and stuff. And man, hold on. 1.2 million phones a year, sorting all these various components. Prototypes are operating in California and the Netherlands. Okay, this is old. This is a couple years old. This is from 2016. Apple said it collected 23 million pounds of steel, 13 million pounds of plastic, 12 million pounds of glass, 4.5 million pounds of aluminum, 3 million pounds of copper, 6,600 pounds of silver, and 2,204 pounds of gold. Wow. E-waste companies, y'all. You got some money lying around, you want to get into the stock market, you want to, play the game, do it smart. Put your money, man, look. I love y'all, though. Let's wrap the show. Let me go to the phone line. Let me holler at a couple of y'all, man. And I'm going to get up out of here. And I'll be back next week. I think this is Mello. Let me holler at Mello. Peace, family. What's going on?
Man, peace to the God, man. You just about name is going on, bro. Man, been kind of, I had to jump back in the archives, but not, man, and pulled on another shift. So it is what it is, I'm just glad that they ain't shut that, close that little port up on that number, getting that in. So, yeah, man, I was thinking about that the other day, and it was so funny, it was crazy about it was, I was going to do like others did. I was going to hit you, But I thought about it, I was like, shit, man. I said, man, you know what, I ain't going to do that shit, man, 'cause you know what? I like, man, I know better, man. I'm like, look, I had opportunity, I had ample enough time, be reasonable with myself. Like, I had ample enough time. I ain't gonna do that shit. I'm like, I gotta tough it out. Whatever I gotta do, I'm still gonna continue to do. I gotta do it anyway. But I'm like, look at this universe working with me though. Still, you feel me? Even for the procrastinator. So you know what I mean? Gotta get this shit together, bro. For real. Seriously, man.
I was gonna grab a bunch,
right.
And I was thinking about. I was talking to a partner of mine. I was about to grab a bunch of EINs, right? Because I knew people were gonna need them, and I was thinking, commerce and stuff. But I ain't finna be selling or trying to associate any type of price point in United States currency with the EIN that was issued by the IRS, and I'm making money, or the trust is making money off of some sort of government number or something.
Service.
That's what ultimately made me decide. And I'm not going to give them away, you know what I'm saying, because it costs energy. So I just decided not to do it. Like, I'm not, I got a couple for myself and stuff.
I feel you. But you know what? On the back end, man, it just show how good looking it is. Or like it's a thought. All things begin and start within thought. And it was like just for you to conjure up that, you know what I mean? It's like, that means something, man, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you gotta let the other end work as well. We got to be accountable and shit. We do, you know what I'm saying? Especially when we know. It's a difference between those who believe, that they know, but us who actually know, been sitting down, y'all been jotting down, you've been compiling notes, you know what I'm saying? You claim you know this, you've been studying about this, like, So if you really know, you know what I'm saying, you're going to have to accept actually, you know what I'm saying, accountability behind it, man. So that's just what it is, but I'm still thankful though, so shit, you know what I mean? We in the race. We got to get, you know what I'm saying? So shit, man, I know I got to run my lap. I know I got to do it, man, so, it's all good. I've been playing, plotting, and strategizing on the low though, so it's all good though. Definitely all good, bro.
Yeah, man, I've been waiting to hear you in the private, man. I've been waiting on you, man. Where you at?
I know it, man. I know it. I definitely know it. Then what's so crazy about this shit is I'm having convos with people at different parts, at different places. They got their own little business set up, running into little females and different things. They got their own set up, and just like asking questions about, is it structured properly? Actually, they know about this, they know about that, and they don't. I'm just like cool, and they like, so shit. So you so in tune with this? How can I speak more with you? And I'm like, oh shit. That's what I get for opening up. I just see that, you feel me? I was like, look at this shit. Now I got to put action behind this shit, bro. Like, this is service waiting. If I was already endowed and doing what I'm supposed to be, and you know what I mean, doing and just really on my shit for real, like, man, this is truly a divine service that we can change people, you know what I'm saying, conditions with. We can actually open them up for generational wealth. You feel me?
That's the whole point.
You know,
that's the whole point of the foundation, man. The trust indenture.
Damn.
The foundation is a trust, man. So, and there's a trust indenture that's executed. So that's the whole point, man. We get this knowledge, we utilize it. I told Yusuf, you should have saw the way that Yusuf looked at me when I said this.
For real.
He was driving, we was in his car, man. We was in Georgia and shit.
Right.
Where we was going, we was just chopping it up. Talking about, I don't know what we were talking about, but I told him, I was like, we was talking about life insurance because, there's things that I know that Yusuf doesn't, but there's way more shit that Yusuf knows that I don't. I'm just going to keep it real.
Right.
There's some things that I know that Yusuf doesn't, and, he finally started asking me about the shit. I don't know if I've been around long enough or whatever, but he finally started asking me about some shit. So he's asking me about insurance, life insurance. So I'm breaking it down, how we use it for, personal banking, financing large purchases and stuff, and not going to traditional banks and, capturing the interest that you would otherwise, blah, 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 blah. I talk about this all the time.
Right.
But I further started talking. I was like, man, insurance is the game, and it's been around for a long time, hundreds of years. And it's a contract. And I was like, man, you know how many of us they would be shooting in the streets if they knew that our people were life insurance happy? You know what I mean? You know how quick insurance companies would come down on police stations and shut them down, and because it's the same insurance companies that got their risk management that's just doing their bonds and stuff in the public. You know how quick that shit would stop them brutalizing us and killing us and stuff like that? If just less than 50% of us, and it just got to be known that these motherfuckers be getting life insurance. You know what I'm saying? Don't be fucking shooting these motherfuckers. You know what I mean? They be getting life insurance and shit. Yeah, they're insured, and we don't want to deal with it. The other precinct got shut down because, blah, 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 whatever. You know what I mean? Right. You should have, man, this dude stopped the car, looked at me, and he was like, man, I ain't never heard no shit like that, man. How did you absolutely right. So, you absolutely right. You know how you talk with that.
Damn,
right. Like, tell me, man.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
And like, there's so many benefits. There's so many benefits to not only being privately set up, but understanding your options in the private. So important. So important. And like you said, and I respect it. You were like, I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna be honest with myself, and that's the first step, man. Keeping it real with yourself and being honest with where we're deficient, so we can correct the deficiency, because if we never acknowledge where we're knowledge deficient or anything like that, we're never going to correct it because it's never a problem.
That's true.
And, accountability, being able to be accountable is a big part, a lot of people's hurdle to being successful.
True. That is true.
I want to tell you I respect you, at least being accountable, at least keeping it real. I can keep it real.
Right.
That's honorable.
Exactly. Definitely right, bro. You're definitely right. So, man, this shit just growing by the minute too as well. So it's like, I'm unable not to sit around people who are into little entrepreneurship about opening up their own business, doing hair, whatever it may be, and then just not give them a few jewels, to carry along with it, to enhance and better the business, and whatnot, to grow it. So. And they can actually protect what they're working so hard for. So shit, these conversations are just you can't be avoided for real, because this is what make the world go around. This is truly what it is, and I know now I got to get on my shit because people just like now like shit. They engaging more. They like shit, man. You got to put me on. And I'm like, damn, I got to put myself on. You know what I'm saying? So shit, I don't want to be sitting up here promise you shit, talking and then on some fly, fugazi ass bluff shit, and doing all that, and then acting like, nah, that ain't what's up. This shit's for real. This shit's serious out here, And then on top of that, man, it's just like you meet some good people too. You meet some real good, genuine people who are working and trying to come from up out of the workforce up under somebody else's umbrella. They're trying to get from up under that shit, man. And these some real sincere people. So it's good to do this shit because we can build together, man. You got a service, I got a service. You know what I'm saying? We can do some things, Shit. So, it is what it is, though, man. But, got to jump on that passport shit, too. Got to jump on that, man. I mean, seriously. Got to. I got to give the brother Chris L, man.
I was reading this case, man. What's the case? Dude was talking about how he's not a U.S. citizen. It was a tax case. They hammered him. Oh, man. What was the name of the case? I can't, man. I got all these, man. If y'all saw all these cases, the cases I'm holding in my hand right now, I'm trying to sift through. But this dude, he tried to say he wasn't a U.S. citizen. He tried to use that. And it basically was like, we don't have any evidence to rebut that you are. You know, there's nothing, you know what I'm saying, that you are. So, I feel like, being proactive and putting them on notice is very, very important. You know, and
True.
I think,
no doubt.
that whole situation that, Chris L came with is I can't find any flaw in it. I really can't.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That's great. Okay.
So,
that's great.
I definitely, my hat goes off to him. Like, I definitely respect that brother for what he do. He's definitely a god as far as I'm concerned. He's out here. He's doing his dance.
DVDs on deck? DVDs on deck, though?
DVDs on deck, man. Put it in a DVD player, man. Put it in your computer or whatever.
Right. Gotcha. That's what's up, man. Definitely what's up. Well, it's another one, so another brick in the foundation. You know what I'm saying? As we say always, you know what I'm saying? So, man, I know everybody's definitely taking in, you know what I'm saying, taking in these jewels and shit, and definitely, you know what I'm saying, giving thanks and applying it properly. The truth of the way, if you're really thankful, I learned, if you're truly thankful, you take the shit and apply it, man. Better your life. You see what I mean? So I just be truly thankful. So yeah, but it's what it is, man. It's another one. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go back in the archive, too. I got to go back, you know what I'm saying? I got somebody that's supposed to be tuning in, too, so possibly listening while we, you know what I'm saying, we on the line. So, yeah, it's what it is, man. What it is, another one. So, give thanks to the forefathers, foremothers, ancestors, you know what I'm saying, the creator, you know what I'm saying, and also, you know what I'm saying, the ones who are here today doing the work, such as yourself, bro. So, keep it up, indeed. I'm going to hit you in the private in a minute. Peace and love.
Yeah, definitely, family. Peace. Appreciate it.
Indeed.
Talk to you soon. Peace and love.
Yep.
All right. Somebody texted me. Why would people be? Man, I'm doing the show, man. It's cool. I love y'all, man. I love y'all. All right. I think this is my guy Brian from the Bay. I ain't talked to this guy in a while, man. Hey, Brian from the Bay, man. Is that you?
Yes, indeed. How you doing, man?
Hey, peace, man. How you doing?
Well, after what Melo said, because I was in the same boat and been dealing with a bunch of stuff, and I was like, oh, crap. I missed the opportunity on the and all that. And I was like, well, all right, well, you got to deal with it, keep on moving it. So I thought I was in the same book. I knew the 13th. So I was doing all this, trying to handle stuff, and only person you could blame is yourself. So I couldn't be like, but it's funny how you said that people.
It's so funny how many people miss that. Like, I talked about that for like 2 months, man.
No, you were right. But the thing was, for me, it was just like, I guess that's on me because I was worried about that. Sometimes you worry about stuff that you shouldn't be worrying about. You know what I mean? You worry about like looking, because I was worrying about
You kind of coming in low. You want a Bluetooth or something?
Oh no, can you hear me?
Yeah, you kind of coming in low though.
Is it better?
Yeah, a little bit. That's a little better. Yeah, man. I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that, but no,
yeah,
all I was saying was no, all
you
I
got
was
a fan
saying
on or
was,
something? Sound like a helicopter back there.
Hold on, let me see, bro.
These smartphones, man, they got, exquisite.
Can you hear now?
Yeah, these smartphones got luxurious microphones, man. They pick up everything.
I don't know what, I think it was. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
What it was is something I think I...
It don't matter,
voice,
man.
Right?
It don't matter, man. Let's go.
Oh,
But
man.
anyways, yeah,
Like,
man.
I'm seeing your whole thing
You missed it too, man.
Yeah.
I don't mean to lie. I'm just, this is one of them things.
No, it is what it is, bro. He's like, hey, it is like it is what it is. Because the thing was, I was like, I was expecting something to come in, and I was worrying about some other stuff, and then, boom. So it is what it is. But the only thing I was gonna say is like, yeah, I can't come up here and be like, hey, man, like you said, you have to be responsible for what you do and what you put out. And like you said, a lot of people, I think, because they've been taught in these I guess you could call them schools, but these places where we don't take a lot of responsibility for ourselves. You think
I ain't
you
gonna
think
blame
you
on
do
no damn schools. I ain't gonna blame on schools. It's parents. We saw our parents not take responsibility for their shit. And we started doing the same shit, or people who was raising us, or our friends, or just felt better. I would just say mostly it was parents. Parents.
All right, I can get with you on that, but I
parents. Most niggas love their mama and their daddy, so they don't want to say that shit, and they want to spite me or something. But man, damn all that. Damn all that. It's parents,
but
man.
See, the reason why. But listen, this is the reason why I said that, because who taught them, and then who taught them? If you keep on looking, they got taught by somebody else. That's
some simple-minded right there. Like, look, it's like, who taught you? Are you private? Are you private? You giving excuses. Like, I know people love their parents.
I'm not trying to give excuses. I'm just saying people
who taught you though? Your parents taught you though.
I started learning myself because I never.
Okay then, you taught yourself. Yeah. See.
But the thing is, I be feeling like, because I never fit well into school. You get what I'm saying? So I didn't trust the system. Well, I know people who trusted it, and even my family. And I try to tell them certain things, and they just like, well, this stuff has already been going. Why would you think this is wrong? You get what I'm saying? And I can't, that's on them. But I see people trusting the system because they fit okay in it. You get what I'm saying? Because they got used to doing it. Well, I never really fit because I was never really good at school. I wasn't a great, reader, so it kind of made I was able to pass, but I just never trusted it. So I've always been questioning stuff.
Either way, those of us who break that, multi-generational fog, you know what I'm saying? I feel like if you want to, it's kind of your right to, look upon those with maybe a little criticism, but at the same time, you got to understand it was a different time. We got the internet. How many people would have all this information if it wasn't the internet popping right now?
That's
you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's being accountable and that's being responsible.
Yeah.
It's all about, you got to take into consideration both sides of the ledger.
Mm-hmm.
So, I get what you're saying. I get it. I definitely
I had the same conversation. I had the same conversation because one of my cousins who's older than me, and he was like, man, because he started looking at all this stuff. Like, man, he said, it's just crazy because he said, I didn't, but I understood because he was in, like you said, in a different time. He said, because I wasn't taught this. He said, I was always believing this and that. And he said, now, he said, I'm looking at all this information. He said, I got this internet. And he's like, man, it's just like, you find anything. And he said, I wish it was when back then. But he said, I'm just doing, he's doing what he can now. So, only thing I was going to say is, yeah, you gotta be responsible for your actions. So, and I just like how you was laughing. You're like, bro, you too.
Man, it was funny, man. I got so many calls on Monday, man. Like, hey, so how you doing? Hey, how you doing? And then they just segue into this damn EIN shit. I'm like, dude.
Look, once I saw it, like, I'm not about to call. Look, I knew that. Like, why would I call? What you do? Gonna make a match? You know what, bro? Look, this is gonna be like, what people gonna be like? You know what, bro? I got you covered. You go to this website, boom, 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 boom. That's what people thought, like it was some magic key or something. Like, no, bro. I told you, like, hell up. How many red signs I gotta give you? How many flags I gotta give you, man? And that's what you.
Man, I'm telling you, them shelf corps, the prices for them shelf corps is about to go up. There's gonna be idiots out here selling the EINs too, man. Some of these cats are smart, and I bet you a bunch of people grabbed a bunch. I got several.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot, but I ain't selling none of them. I ain't getting rid of none of them.
No, you're right, bro. Now. Hey, you smart. Don't do that, man.
Son.
Like,
no.
Hey, but no.
Not because I'm afraid of some sort of type of repercussions. It's because, man, this is I gotta handle my time in the state, man. You know.
Look, that makes sense, man. You gotta do what you gotta do, bro.
Yo, people, I'm sorry, man. Like, it'd be different. I wouldn't be laughing, and it's not. I'm not laughing because I'm happy because people missed out. I'm laughing at the irony of how much I was talking about it, and people still messed it up. Like, damn, man. I love it.
I got you, bro.
I love y'all. I still, man, I respect. I love it, man. You know, it's just hopefully, either it's a blessing or a lesson. So hopefully it's a lesson.
Look,
and, we can't just be doing last minute stuff.
Look, the reason why I said it because it wasn't, wasn't nothing. I wasn't gonna come in. I could have not said it at all. You know what I mean? I could have been but it's honest for people to hear. From this stuff, and it's like I knew about it, but I was, and that's a lesson on me because I'm worried about the little bit of these stupid FRNs where I shouldn't have been worrying about it, and that's what I was worrying about. You get what I'm saying? So that's on me. That's a lesson to be learned, or I might have to do, like you said, find somebody who can do for me. Hey, use your source so I can get this. But it is.
Give them $100. Write a contract and give them $100.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It is what it is.
It's not impossible. You know what I mean? But
But I'm not.
If you got a CPN,
right
give them $100. You got a CPN, and then go open a bank account. Use CPN. You still private. But it's not impossible. It's just it's gonna make it more difficult.
I got it, man. But my point is, it's got to. Look, I don't think I'm thinking it's gonna be some. For these other people, they got they got to be a door. But like you said, I can see that's their door. It's I have to get somebody else to do for me. So that's their little way of doing it. But anyway,
I know cats that was taking people. Like, I don't know in person, but I heard multiple times from multiple different people that these cats was going finding homeless people, getting them.
I was thinking the same thing.
Getting them like business funding for like 10 G's or like 50 G's, having them personally guarantee all this shit, and then take all the bread, give them $1,000 or something dumb, $500, and then take all the bread and liquidate all that. Man, I've heard, there's some swindlers out here, man. I've heard stories from people calling me, consultations or whatever. I've heard some stories make me want to cry for some people. I feel so bad for people. You know what I'm saying? There's dirty motherfuckers out here, man.
Yeah, and karma, you get what you come, and someday, sooner or later you will. But yeah, no, that's all I was saying. And then, like, for me, only else I was saying, I'll leave it to this. Maybe you want to talk to somebody else. It's like you was talking about the whole, how you was like, oh yeah, studying, right? Really doing that, and people gotta understand that. Cause like me, I even admit it. Like I'm not at the time, I was like, bro, this is because I've never been really great at reading. So it's like I read stuff, but I never read it like that. Now I'm like, I gotta teach myself this muscle that I never flexed before because I was never really that great. And it's like, oh, you gotta read all this stuff. I'm like, damn. And then like me, I'm an audio person because I like hearing stuff more. So sometimes I'll listen to a lot of information. I was like, you gotta read it too. So, I was just telling people you gotta find ways to do it because like one of the ways I kind of do sometimes is use the readers. How you get the one on online on your app or app, have the stuff and then read and follow along as a reading out loud. So it kind of makes it, I'm still doing the thing, but it's like it's helping me because I'm listening to it and reading at the same time. So I'll just, for anybody who have a problem, there's no excuse. You just gotta, put in the time and do that. Because I'm like, damn, I'm listening to you. He's like, man, I read these all the time. I'm like, man, I've been trying to read these cases. I'm like, man.
Man, I got stacks of cases, man. From status to trust to banking. I got some cases on it. Instruments, all types of stuff. Oh, my man dropped off. Ooh. Well, it was good hollering at you, family. You know, good chopping up with you, man. You know, if you visited the archive or something, you know, I wasn't laughing at you specifically. You know, it's just a situation. 718-8092, and I'm out. 718-8092. Peace.
Hey, peace, so L. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well,
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm all right. Did you understand the message I left you before? Because I feel like it's a disrespect for me to only talk to you 2 times a week, you know? So I feel I have to call you all the time, other than 2 times a week, you know?
Oh, no, I got that message. I appreciated that. I was just traveling this past weekend. I went to go see Yusuf. I went to go see Yusuf and stuff. And then I had some meetings. I had some meetings in Atlanta. And then I was kicking it with Yusuf. So yeah,
I'm looking forward to seeing him.
That,
I'm looking forward to seeing him pace back and forth again. You know? Yeah, you know how he pace back and forth and he's telling, like, you know what he's been through?
Yeah. You talking about that? You talking about when he in Jersey?
The seminar, yeah. Well, can I drop some views for them, Soel?
Drop the jewels, man.
Okay, like one thing, the first 3 letters of that 9-digit, you know, that tells what state that the socials were created in. Yep. And then from there, like a child, when the child have never applied for anything, the social, if they don't know about it, that's like a child. So what you got to do, you got to apply for something and get turned down to make it come alive. So once you apply for something, you create your own CPN. When you create your own number, right? It's the first 3 numbers is the state that it was issued in. And then you can create the other numbers, but you must have the first 3 numbers from the state that you're from. And then you have to apply for something, get turned down. A lot of good things to apply for is like an auto loan. And when you apply for the auto loan, you get denied because they don't know about you. So you got to bring that number alive. So once you bring that number alive, and then they go through the 3 trade lines, Equifax, TransUnion, and Experience, you bring it alive, and then now they have record of you. They have knowledge of you. So you out there. They're aware of you. And then from there, then you take it from there. But you have to bring that number alive. So that's how you can create a CPN number without paying for it. You know? But it has to be from the first 3 numbers to state. It must be from the state where you're from. And every state has a number, the first 3 numbers, and then the rest of the numbers you can do on make it up. But once you apply, they'll turn it down. But anybody who want to use it badly, you're just making it bad for everybody else who wants to do something good with it. And eventually, sometime they will combine your real social with your CPN. You know, sometimes they catch up with them. A lot of times they catch up with them. So it's not good to even want to go there. But you don't have to contract with them. You know, anytime you don't have to contract with them. That, you know, if you don't remember whatever, they can't say that, you know, it's you if you don't remember. But that's it. That's the view I want to drop. But, you know, all the ones who are out there doing something good, don't make it bad for the ones who are doing something good. So this is a platform for all of us to, you know, to elevate, you know. This is not for us to, like, you know, pull people down like crabs in a barrel. You know what we're doing on this side of the foundation, we building. And another thing about the foundation, we're building. And hopefully nobody will past 45 years of age in the future, you know. Once you get out of high school at 18, give them 20 years, because they say in a few more years ain't going to be no social, right? There ain't going to be no social security. That's what they talking about, right? So.
Yeah, I think they said something like 2025. You're not going to get full benefits after 2025 or something like that.
Yeah, they have
I mean,
a lot of
it's
jobs
benefits, but it's not going to be full. They run it out. They just disclosing that it's running out. But I don't think they said that it's gone yet.
And then they got this thing called a full. If you got banking, okay. So what you say is private banking. What else is it? Social? What you said is private banking, and it's the trust, right? So.
You talking about trust in banking? The foundation?
Yes. Okay, but the next thing is a food desert. Well, a food desert is when you don't have fresh vegetables and fruits. That can if you don't have that can knock off 40 years of your life. So with banking and trust, you need foods in your life to expand, to teach the ones coming after y'all to live long and be around long enough to teach them about what you have set up for them to pass on. To eat your fruits and vegetables so you can live a long time. Because a lot of places don't have places where you get fresh fruits and vegetables at, And that's why I want to say that's another part. Your food, your finances. And when you make it big, don't do things that's like bad hood things, that's going to get you taken out. If you get a chance to elevate, you can't go back and do negative stuff that's going to get you wiped out. Because you got a lot of guys who make millions of dollars and they go broke. So, a lot of times they make the money, but they don't teach them how to keep it. A lot of the entertainers, a lot of the athletes, they don't teach them how to keep it. So, we didn't get that chance to be athletes or certain things, but keep your money and don't do things that's going to have you wipe out. And when you make that money, make sure you'll get security. If you're going to go out there flashing and showing everything and you want to be in the public and you're not trying to remain private, if people are going to see you because you'll work for it, as they say in that rap, some people making it and Brooklyn keep on taking it. Or, Bronx creating and Brooklyn keep on taking it. However you saying, but it's not even Brooklyn taking it. There's a lot of times when you work for something, you got people who are not going to work. They just want to take it. So y'all be aware of that. You out there doing something and somebody watching you. They watching you shining, So y'all just be careful. Don't flash too much. It's not all about keeping up with the Joneses. That's you don't flash all that stuff in public. It's not for everybody's eyes. It's not for everybody's ears. A lot of stuff private. When they say private, that means it's not for everybody's ears. When they say private, it ain't for everybody's eyes. So don't be flashing, assets out there and talk about assets in the public. That's supposed to be private. For certain things, you'll keep private when nobody can see. That's another level of public and private. And that's what I have to say, so.
All right, fam. I appreciate you calling in, man.
All the time. Appreciate hearing from you and talking to you.
Yeah, man. And, I'll talk to you soon, man. You got my number, man.
Oh,
I'll talk to you soon.
That's right.
Peace and love, fam.
Okay, so peace and love. Peace and love.
Y'all need to build some credit. How about this? Before I get up out of here, I'm just gonna say this, man. Hey, it's rare where everybody stays on the line this long. I've been streaming for almost 30 minutes. This is crazy. This is a long show, and I appreciate all the guests called in, and I appreciate y'all checking out the show. Look, man, get credit, yo. And the problem is we look at credit wrong. Credit is not money. It's not money. It's a means. What is it? It's a machine. How about that? Or look at the machine two ways. Look at the machine or look at it as a safety net. Emergencies, you know what I'm saying? And then pay it off. Maybe you can look at it money like that. But it's not something you're supposed to be using willy-nilly like you use cash. If you're going to use credit, you got to find cards that give cash back or some sort of points or rewards. And you make all of your transactional purchases through the credit card, and all the money you make, you spend on paying off the balance. Most people charge with the card and spend their money. Now they got a maxed out card, and that's not how you build a credit, fam, and they're not going to issue more credit. And eventually you can get up. I know people, we got tens and hundreds, and sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of available credit. And credit is the main component the availability or lack thereof is the main component, or one of the main components in this invisible caste system. Caste, C-A-S-T-E, caste system. It's invisible over here. In India, study India because it's all in your face. But over here, it's invisible, or that most people like to think it is. But credit is big. Credit is huge, and we don't know how to utilize credit. We don't look at it as a machine, and we don't look at it as emergency. We look at it as cash or money, and that's ridiculous. Build your business credit. Build your personal credit. Build your CPN credit. I don't care. If you're going to be private, you don't want to use a social, fine. Get a CPN. Use a business credit, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how you do it. Just, if you don't have good credit, you're tripping. You're tripping. It's definitely a part of a lasting legacy. Hands down. Hands down. So build some credit and look at it properly. It's either a machine or it's emergency funds that you use and pay down. Pay it down. Pay it down. Have some discipline. Pay it down. And suddenly you will have a bunch of credit. You can do things with credit. Things. You can change your life, change your quality of life with the proper credit profile or profiles. Get your credit up. You and your buddy or your sister or something, get your credit up and go get a first-time home buyer's loan. Both y'all co-borrow. You're going to get more money. Get a multi, like a duplex or something, and rent out the other one. Y'all live in the one, roommates or something for 5 years, and let the one unit downstairs or upstairs, let that pay for the mortgage, and y'all pocket your rent that you otherwise pay at some other spot. Now you save the money. You reduce your expenses. You don't have rent now. And the tenants are paying the mortgages. Then that's based off a credit profile, which will change your quality of life. Now you have freed funds up, and you're not stressing over having to do all this stuff until you can pay your rent and so on and so forth. It doesn't work with everybody. Some people have large families and stuff, and it just doesn't work. But single-family homes are they're not good. They're not investments. They're not assets. They're liabilities, hands down. They take money out your pocket. It's very rare. Unless you jump into some Airbnb stuff, it's very rare to turn a single-family home into an asset, something that puts money in your pocket or brings money into the estate. Single families are notoriously liabilities. They take money from the estate or the individual or the family. Airbnb, you can get people in there, but I mean, hey, man, that's your private home and stuff. You got strangers and people in there, and they might be fighting, throwing parties. Who knows? There's a risk to that, but you can do it. Especially nowadays. But, man, if you're not taking anything serious and you can't afford, you can get good credit and then you can finance certain educational programs, i.e. trustee training. You can finance, let me shut up before I start really tripping and put too much information out there. But, email me, admin@welcometothefoundation.com. Trustees get access to, a large part of my network. And if you read through between the lines of the things that I be saying on these shows, man, I love y'all. I hope y'all have a great week. Enjoy yourself. Reframe your negative thoughts to positive ones. Very, very diligent about your thoughts and how you're thinking about yourself and your actions. And stop being so negative. Stop being so critical. And start being more appreciative. You have a lot that you just don't appreciate. We need to stop focusing on what we don't have and start focusing on what we do have, because that appreciation for the things that we do have changes our mind and our energy, which attracts. Then we start attracting. So do your best to reframe your thoughts and become appreciative. Invest in your private education. Work on becoming more accountable and responsible for your actions, for the things that you do and do not do. And work on building some sort of credit profile and look at it as a machine or as emergency funding. It is not money. It is not cash. It's not stuff you're supposed to be paying bills with. Put this on, automatic payment, blah, 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 unless you're using it as a machine, which means you buy everything with a credit card or most things with a credit card, you immediately pay it off, and you cash out the, cash bonuses or whatever. You're basically making money using a credit card. But you got to be disciplined. So, but it starts in the mind. So if you're negative, if you feel like you can't do it or you're not worth it or you're not smart enough or it's too late for you, you're too old or whatever. You got to start reframing those goddamn thoughts. Excuse my language. You are your worst enemy. Your first hurdle is yourself. And if you never try, you'll never know if you could have achieved or not. So quit being scared. I got your back. Admin at welcometothefoundation.com, trustee training, consultation, whatever you need. I'm reading court cases. Hella. This court case with regards to the public and private, with regards to a private trust in the state. If you want that case, it's called Evans versus Newton. I got the case. I got it in the PDF. I'll email it to you. Just email me, hey, I want the public versus private court case. Put that in the header. You ain't got to say nothing else. I don't care. It's fine. I know you're busy. Just say public-private court case. That's all you got to say, really. And I'll email it to you. In the meantime, y'all have a great week. Enjoy yourself. Express love. Reframe your thoughts. Be appreciative. 10 things that you appreciate every single night before you go to sleep, at the very least. And, let's start changing our lives so we can start having changing effects and changing other people's lives. So I believe in y'all, man. Let's do this. We got it. I love y'all. Have a great week. Catch you next week here on High Frequency Radio. Peace to the guys.
Doing this thing all the way live. High Frequency Radio.